This is Jacob Carver, and we're in the butcher shop today, and I have with me Brian from Midnight's Gaming Emporium, and Courtney. She's an independent horror actress, my friend, and we worked on some stuff together. But today, we're in the butcher shop. We're going to talk about horror video games.
We're not going to talk about all of them. Right now, we're just going to concentrate on the NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis era, with a little bit of Atari, and also arcade.
Yeah, for all you new school people that never heard of an arcade or actually went to one, we're going to talk about some arcade games that me and Brian probably played when we hooked out of school, like way back when.
And hell, I'm 28, and if you guys haven't heard of an arcade, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you. Shame. Shame.
Damn,
all right.
kids.
What do you want to start with? Satan's Hollow.
Satan's Hollow, yeah. I spent lots of quarters playing Satan's Hollow.
Yeah, I did too. It was a Golga type shooter where you got to shoot gargoyles to collect a bridge. Once you got the bridge completed, you went and fought Satan.
The big man himself.
Yep. And you're going to find something out. A lot of these games are all about fighting and killing Satan.
Fight the devil and the dark demonic forces.
Yeah, that's horrible. Such a bad thing that they thought Satan was such a horrible person.
Poor Satan. Why can't anybody just leave him alone?
Yeah. Next up on the list, we got Splatterhouse. One that was very notorious because you got to play basically as Jason, trying to rescue your girlfriend. And I just so happened to have a copy of the game for the TurboGrafx 16 to show to everybody. Basically, it was a side-scroller. You got different weapons, but mainly use your fist to fight your way through basically zombies and swamp monsters and stuff like that. You didn't even actually fight human beings with it. So the whole thing, why they had such a big deal about it, other than basically you just look like Jason, is really the only thing I could think of. You can put that down, Elvira.
Here, let me show you.
Yeah, Vanna.
Vanna turned a letter.
I'll take an A.
You have any other games you ever played in the arcade?
Ghosts and Goblins. So basically, Ghosts and Goblins, you play as the character Arthur, and you battle various undead creatures along the way to get to the castle to save the princess. And, it's basically side-scroller. I'd call it like run and gun. But you have like your lance and stuff that you collect special weapons along the way to help you out.
And you know what the worst part about that stupid game was?
What's that?
To finish it, you had to go through it twice. Because when you got to Satan's door, they told you needed the holy whatever the fuck to get through here.
And then they send you back to the beginning and you start
with a big F-U on the way through.
I think it's what they call a quarter buster because you had to spend a lot of fucking quarters in the arcade.
Yep, you did. Oh, and the cool part is the hit system. You get hit once, your armor flies off, and you get to play in your boxer shorts. You yourself weren't in your boxer. Your guy on the screen, Arthur was. I want to point that out. Your clothes didn't fly off.
From a
you're
female
in your
perspective,
boxer.
what do you think about a dude playing in his boxer shorts?
Well, being myself, I don't know if I want to run around in my bra and underwear, because that might be a little bit breezy. I might feel a little bit cold, but a guy running around in his boxer shorts.
Just imagine the tip money you'll get.
The tip money? These are mine. Mine. $50. Remember, $50 a tip.
$50.
$50 a tip. Hold on. Just let me get my wallet. Okay. So, well, now that we're done with that, do you play anything in the arcade?
I remember playing House of the Dead. So, if anybody remembers having that big orange gun, you could play with one or two people. And you just ascend to different levels, have all these zombies, undead, chasing after you, and you get to gun them down.
Just shoot the shit out of them. Right?
Oh yeah, that was a fun game. We'll probably do the home system of that later on. That was a fun ass game.
Maybe sooner or later I'll talk about House of the Dead, the DVD, the worst movie probably of all time. Uli Bowl. Maybe not. I
Oh
don't know.
my god.
That man just needs to stop.
He's
Yeah.
He's dead now.
Oh. Okay, well, so much for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so we don't have to worry
you
about
can
that
stop.
anymore.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
yeah,
All right, I got one more arcade to console port. Little background story of this game. It is an extremely notorious arcade game that they had a hard time selling to the actual arcades because the concept of the game was you basically were a torture master with a gun shooting people that were on torture devices. And if you're old or have a really good memory, you love horror, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the very notorious arcade game Chiller that came to the NES as an unlicensed product, which means Nintendo did not endorse it, which I'm pretty sure Nintendo would not have endorsed that game in any way, shape, or form. Just because you kill people for fun.
Yeah, but you don't know if they did something wrong. I mean...
everybody does something wrong sometime.
Yeah.
Ain't there a song?
Yeah, they could have definitely have done something wrong. You know, they could have, like, woke up in the morning and got out of bed. That'd been worth being massacred over.
Well, if somebody kicked my dog, one day,
And of course,
torture them.
I was talking to Jacob earlier about Chiller, and it's like, everyone remembers, like, the original scene of it. What was the girl in the middle of the screen? You shot her 3 times and shot her clothes off.
You get to shoot her clothes off.
First it was the top, then it was the brawl, and you got to see 8-bit nude titties on screen.
Ooh, 8-bit titties, 8-bit titties!
Not even 16-bit titties, 8-bit titties.
Yeah, they were 8-bit titties.
8-bit titties, but
Them pixelated titties.
Them pixelated titties.
Yep, there was like 4 blocks of like skin color, I guess, and then a block of red in the center.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta say.
Nothing beats 8-bit nude.
That's all you gotta say. Dem titties.
So, anything else in the arcade you've enjoyed playing?
Well, I do remember a couple of shoot-ups like Carnival and what about you?
Yep.
Did you play any like modern arcade shooters? Maybe like Aliens, Predator, maybe like those kind.
The only new ones I can think of have been on the PlayStation and stuff. I haven't been able to play anything in the arcade because everything is now, very sensitive. Got to be careful with what you're playing and what you're doing.
They really don't have arcade games anymore. Unless
No.
you go to like Dave and Buster's. But
Yeah.
This is
And luckily, there's one coming
Thank God.
this fall.
Thank
Thank God. And you know what? We need to get together for the weekend and go up there some Saturday and play.
Yes.
That'd just be like a fun-filled trip for like one day.
Drink a couple beers, sit back, play some video games, good to go.
One last shout out would be Alien vs. Predator, the arcade game. It was a great little beat 'em up, not so much for the survival horror, but it was a fun little beat 'em up. Anything else before we sign this part off?
No, I think we're good on that part.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we're good.
Well, this is Brian from Midnight's Gaming Emporium.
Jacob Carver from the Butcher Shop.
I'm Courtney, independent horror actress.
I'm signing out. See you next time.